Hello and welcome back to True Crime Random Rants. Hi. It's been a very busy week. I originally was like, oh yeah, I'm going to post that every, twice a week. No, it didn't happen that way. It's been a very busy week. So thank you for some of the comments that I've had in relation to my first real uploads, which was around the Chris Watts case. I did put it on Facebook and there was a couple of comments. Some of them have completely disappeared. I've got them in an email, but they're not there anymore. One which stood out was from a lady who was saying AD did not see the shadows first. It wasn't him, it was somebody else. Lady, I think you missed the point. The point was, I don't care who come out with it first. Like I was saying about, I first saw it on Linda from It's a Crime, got so much hate about it that she now no longer covers the Chris Watts case because that many people went for her. So I think you missed the point about that. Is that, you listen to who you want to listen to. It's fine. Anyway, so I'm still very much on the bandwagon of there was no investigation at all into these murders. There was no investigation. It was like, he's pleaded guilty, let's go, bye. Somebody else posted on the YouTube one from the detectives blog. This was the lead investigator. So I'm reading from that. If you want to go over there and check that out, then that's absolutely fine. So he says, what's worse are the YouTube and the like conspiracy theories who post videos for no other reason than to sit the pot and profit from it. Okay. I've heard about from reliable sources the most ridiculous crap that gets posted regarding the Watts case. I have absolutely no respect for people who post lies and intentional gross inaccuracies for any reason, but especially monetary gain. Do these people ever consider who and what they're making ridiculous statements about and the effect that it has on people personally involved in this case? Of course not. They're only thinking about themselves and how much money they can make. Okay, so this person's published this on my page, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not making money from this. This is just me sat on my couch having a little random rant. I think I've got 1 subscriber. I'm not making any money. This is just me looking into it going, what? Like many other people. So, just in case you had any doubts. Probably the most ridiculous topic, this is going back to the blog. Probably the most ridiculous topic I've heard about is that I retired because I'm upset over some alleged law enforcement conspiracy to cover up NK's supposed criminal involvement in the case because her father is wealthy. Stop and think for a minute about how stupid that sounds and really is. An entire family was annihilated and no amount of money would have stopped the investigation and silenced me or anyone about some alleged LE conspiracy to cover things up. The idea of that is completely idiotic. It might be completely idiotic. However, people in powerful places, I'm just going to say that, money does speak. So it might be idiotic to a naive person to say that, if you've got money, you're not going to be able to, throw some money at a situation to have it go away. I'm going to use the initials, is he a J or a G? I think he's a J. He's a J-E. That guy. Yeah. Money talks. Fact. Money talks. But I hadn't even thought about the whole wealth thing. But now I'm looking at that going, well, actually, no, money does talk. So people do get away with things because they are filthy rich. We've got that guy called Jeff. Seriously, don't know whether he's a J or a G. Anyway, you've got other people. The other guy that begins with a H. I'm going to name them. But there's other people, there's powerful people with money and power that manage to get away with things, and we all know that. So the idea is completely idiotic. Okay. I'm not about to argue with like the guy, but you know, it's just a little rant. I don't think it is idiotic to believe that people with money and power tend to get away with things. Like, studies have shown, cases have shown that it is the case that it can happen. So yeah, there's that. And also, if you listen to the NK interviews now, people, when again I've looked into this and I've watched things, and it's like, why was her dad in with her? Well, she just wanted someone there with her. I don't judge the girl for that at all. In all honesty, I don't. She was, quote unquote, giant air quotes, helping with the investigation. She was not under arrest or apparently being investigated at all. So she wanted somebody in there with her. And that's fine. As far as I'm aware, that's your right. You know, if I was being taken in and if I was, you know, volunteering my time and, you know, I agreed to speak to the police because someone I was having an affair with suddenly decided to kill his wife and children, I will feel a little bit panicked myself. And I'll probably say to my mum, you know, can you please come with me? Where my ears pricked up listening to that was where her dad is telling the FBI guy and going, don't lead. I see what you're trying to do. Don't lead. Excuse me, but who are you? Let the man ask his questions. At every point when he's trying to ask any sort of question, you know, it was, no, don't ask her that. I just thought it was a little bit, I do think she should have been brought in on formal questioning. I do. But my opinion, which we're all entitled to. So the guy goes on, without going into the case too deeply, I'll state here and now that I put all I had into this case for the victims and surviving family. I wouldn't have stopped because someone is supposedly, in brackets, wealthy, and neither would the DA's office. Also, because I was the lead investigator, I know every minute detail of the Watts case and can state with confidence that NK or any other person would have been arrested if they have had any criminal involvement. The case is closed, in capitals, and there is no additional investigation going on behind the scenes. I think there's a point being missed here. So, state with confidence that NK would have been arrested if they had any criminal involvement. Well, in the discovery, there was no investigation, or whether that was kept separate from the discovery because it was, you know, specifically about Chris Watts' case. I don't know that, genuine, you know, and that's, you know, he does, clearly. But I think this is where, and he had said earlier and further up about, you know, people are given information, they take a little bit of information and they absolutely run with it, but you give a little bit of information and it leaves questions and it leaves you open to questions that you're not willing to answer. So what happens is people's minds go off on a tangent, which is exactly what's happening. So NK or any other person would have been arrested if they had any criminal involvement. Well, again, we can't see any form of questioning, any form of investigation that took place. What was released was things like phone records that prove that Chris was on the phone to NK at points when he was on the phone to the police and stuff like that. And there's just, it leaves questions, and people are going to have questions. And I understand what he's saying about, you know, monetary gain and all things like that. And, you know, I don't count myself in that bracket. This is just me sat here having my little rants. So, yeah. He opens, I'm going a little bit backwards. In today's society, many people expect full transparency and want to know all the details about anything and everything. I wholeheartedly disagree and state these people don't know what they're asking for. Okay, so when asked a direct question, people know what they're asking for. Many people believe that information which is now made public, brackets, to be more transparent, somehow stops corruption and satisfies their need to know everything. Perhaps it does initially, but I present to you the opposite is also true. I agree. The more information released about the topic allows more opportunity for it to be spun, twisted, completely reformed to meet someone's opinion and or provide monetary gain. If you're paying attention, you'll see it every day in the media, regardless of whether you lean left or right politically, which is true. Excuse me. So he says, somehow stops corruption, satisfied the need to know everything. Perhaps it does it initially. The more information released about the topic allows more opportunity for it to be spun, twisted. No, I don't think it does. I don't really agree with that. But I do agree that if you're going to release, then release. Don't release what you're saying is basically bits, because when he's finishing that bit, without going into the case too deeply, I'll state here and now, right? So I'm under, I do believe best intentions and all that palaver. However, when you release a discovery and that discovery has big gaping holes in it, then people are going to want to know what was in that gaping hole. So I agree, releasing your allegedly an attempt to be more transparent, to avoid questions of corruption. But then if you look at some of the big gaping holes in the discovery, then it leads people to question. I don't think it's a case of, the likes are, where is it again? Jesus, spun, twisted, completely reformed to meet someone's opinion. No, I don't think that's true. But obviously, opinions, the man's entitled to one. He's stating it. He's clearly angry, and I understand that he's angry because he's hearing all this stuff that's going on YouTube, on social media, and all the rest of it. But fact of the matter is, people do have questions, and they're gonna have questions. Fact of the matter is, the police went back to question Chris Watts again. Why? Because they had questions. I think he was there, was he not? They had questions. The likes of your average Joe Blogs hasn't got the luxury of going, do you know what? Let's go back. Let's go back and ask some questions. They started that with, we're not here for the reason you think we're here. Well, why? What other reasons would there be? There's questions. There's constant questions. The police themselves had questions. That's why they went back. That's why they interviewed Chris Watts. That's why those audio tapes were released. Because the world had questions. But we can't question. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I do feel, and I'm sorry to this detective, this now retired detective who was there. He was the lead investigator. He knows every minute detail of the Watts case. He's saying the case is closed. There's no additional investigation going on behind the scenes. So that guy, he's clearly felt the need to come out publicly. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because I'll get it wrong, because I always do. I'm terrible with pronunciation, as you've probably heard. But yeah, it's a difficult job being an investigator on a case, but looking at it, there are holes. There are holes in the case. And, you know, look into it. There are holes in the case. Speaking of look into it, another comment that I got, and it's gone. Oh, yeah, it's that lady who said about AD wasn't the first one to see the shadows. Do your homework. Oh, can I just say, this is just, again, for I don't know how many times, this is just me sat on my couch in my living room. It's Sunday morning, it's 9:34, and I'm just talking into my phone. I've already fell down a bit of a rabbit hole. I'm not about to let it take over my entire life. Otherwise, I would legit be on every day. Going to see this today, what do you think? But yeah, so it's like, do your homework. You should look at this. You should look at this. No. I said what I said. I said that I originally seen it on It's a Crime. I followed AD, like what, last week? 2 weeks ago now? But, okay. Yeah, I think you missed the point. I don't care who said it. You know, it is what it is. Anyway, so I said last time on the 1st of May, part of me believes that there were others involved. That part of me is grabbing bigger, not going to lie to you. I think it's because I've watched all these people that detective doesn't like. I think, so I think I need to like go back and watch Netflix. I'll watch what mainstream media wants to see. I'll watch Netflix, and I'll sit and argue with Netflix, because I did the first time I watched it, and I hadn't actually fell that far down it at that point. But it was like, okay, let's watch Netflix. I think, right, what I might do is I might watch the Netflix thing, and then I might just rant about how much I hate that Netflix documentary. Oh God, it's ridiculous. I'm at 17 minutes. So once again, I should probably heard by all the little quiet moments, I don't edit. I just literally rant. And like today, because I haven't done anything for like 2 weeks, I had to literally sit and go back. Oh, if you ever listen to yourself, don't do it. Part of my day job, I have to record my voice every single day, and I never listen to it back. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to listen to it back, because I want to look at the comments and, you know, try and reply. So I listened to it back, and like there's a few little gaping holes, and I was like, no, do you know what, I'm not going to sit here and start editing myself. So, you know, if someone wants to come and go, well, you said this on the 1st of May and now you're saying this on this date. Yeah, because opinions change, and you look at more and you learn more and you fall down rabbit holes, and that's what happens. Such is life. So, yeah, people are very passionate about this case. They are. And it is because there are questions. There are big questions. You know, I wish I could, you know, go back and just go, yep, that's what happened. In a very short space of time, he was able to murder his wife, drive his kids to a site, kill his kids, dispose of his children, for want of a better term. Please take that out of meant. Like, I'm not saying that lightly. Then bury, giant air quotes, Shanann, and go to work. That happened. That's exactly what happened. But then you start looking into stuff and you're like, did you do it all on your own? Were you able to do it all on your own? Was it not torrential rain those couple of days before the bodies were found? Was Shanann not found completely dry with earth that looked new in a sandy area, even though it had rained? Questions. See? Questions. Anyway, right, I wanted to talk about other things on this, but I've reached 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. I'm going to go and get a drink. And then I'm going to come back and talk about some more random true crime stuff that's been in the news over the last week or two. Thanks, see you soon. Bye.